Hey guys, I wanted to come to you with a wrap up for everything, including the two readathons that I was in, that I participated in. But I'll go through the books first and then kind of tell you how many books I read for the two readathons, like total. The first book I read was Fable Haven by Brandon Mull. I rate this a 4 out of 5 star, and I am looking forward to reading on in this series. There's like 5 books altogether, and it has to do with two kids, their grandparents owning this lavish land where um, they were keeping it a secret as far as what they had on their land, which was fairies and a witch. It was like a magic land. And the grandparents were looking for someone that could hopefully take over the property one day when they passed on because they're up there in age. And they took and their two grandkids for a while their parents were on vacation, and they started within the first 2 days they were grumbling but was noticing certain things going on that they couldn't understand, and then they started figuring out what their grandparents were hiding, and it got to the point where they were enjoying what they were doing, and they had to fight a war. And yeah, I think I'll leave it like that. Let's see. Next one is Flaming Arrow by Cassie Edwards. I rated this a 4 out of 5. It was another good book of hers. If you're not sure about her, she does a lot of historical romance, which revolve around a white woman falling in love with an Indian chief of a certain tribe. Each one is a different tribe. And then I read The Secret Diary of Helen Blackston by Michelle P.W. This was an ebook. And it was a diary by Helen. She was making a diary of what was going on in her house that she grew up in, because she came back to visit her father. Her and her brother did, and there was a lot of creepy things going on. I rated that a 4 out of 5. Let's see. And then I read If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo. I don't have the physical copy with me because I returned it to the library, but there's a picture of it. I rated this a 4 out of 5 as well. I found it was a really good book. Let's see, the next one is The Cat Who Had 14 Tails by Lillian Jackson Braun. I rated this a 3 out of 5, and this was a reread for me. Read Darker Shade of Magic by B.E. Schwab. I rated this at 5 out of 5. This was my favorite for the month. And then I read Remember the Time by Teresa Gonzalez. And I rated this a 4 out of 5. And then I finished the month up with Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. I rated this a 5 out of 5. So for the whole month of August, I read 8 books. That equaled to 2,118 pages. And then the one readathon that ended in August, but the thing is, this one ran from June to August, which was the romance bingo that was hosted by Steeped Books, and I read 14 books total for that over the last 3 months. I didn't get a bingo. I was close. I didn't keep on track on staying with the books I had listed for the bingo. I was just, I guess, mood reading, or for the ones I had empty spaces for, I ended up ones that I was reading, oh, they could fit for this, because we could pick all the books that didn't have to be romance, so that helped fill up the boxes a little bit. And then for Rhinodon, I read 6 out of 7 books for that, which I thought was another good finish for me on another readathon, and I hope I can keep going strong on my reading like I have been. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and take care, and I'll catch you next time.